There are voices in wrestling, and then there is the one that changed everything. A sound that could electrify arenas before the music even hit. A tone that defined rebellion, attitude, and unfiltered truth. This is the untold journey of how Stone Cold Steve Austin, a man once told he wasn't marketable, became one of the most powerful talkers in professional wrestling history. In the world of professional wrestling, true greatness isn't defined by championships alone. It's defined by the impact a performer leaves on the audience, the emotions they trigger, the moments they create, and the voice that resonates far beyond the ring. For Stone Cold Steve Austin, that voice became one of the most influential tools in wrestling history. Today, fans see Austin as a legendary talker, a man who could command an arena with a single sentence. But his evolution into a master of the microphone didn't happen overnight. It was a journey shaped by adversity, reinvention, and the fearless confidence to speak in a way few others dared. Stone Cold's rise isn't just the story of a superstar. It's the story of a man who learned to use authenticity as his greatest weapon, turning his natural personality into a global phenomenon. Whether he was confronting authority figures, battling rivals, or simply addressing the crowd, Austin's voice carried a unique power, a blend of intensity, humor, timing, rebellion, and raw honesty. And that mix is what elevated him from talented wrestler to cultural icon. Long before the world heard the explosive energy of Stone Cold's promos, Steve Austin was known primarily for his athletic ability. In his early days, especially during his time in WCW, Austin was respected for his technical wrestling skills. But on the microphone, he wasn't yet the larger-than-life presence he would become later. At the time, Austin played the role of a serious, focused competitor. His promos were straightforward, professional, and clean. They served their purpose, but they didn't carry the fire or individuality that he would later become famous for. In many cases, the scripts he was given didn't match his natural personality. The organization saw him as a reliable athlete, not necessarily a standout talker. Still, these years were important. Austin was watching, learning, and absorbing the craft. He studied the talkers around him, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Arn Anderson, and others who could captivate fans with just their words. Austin wasn't copying them, he was understanding the importance of communication in wrestling. He knew that being a great performer required more than executing the perfect move. It demanded a connection with the audience. One of the most pivotal moments in Austin's development came from frustration. When he joined WWE as the Ringmaster, the character barely spoke. Managed by Ted DiBiase, Austin's role was limited, and the company didn't yet see him as a microphone-driven star. Ironically, it was the lack of talking opportunities that pushed Austin to find his true voice. Behind the scenes, Austin was full of witty comebacks, sharp humor, and a natural, blunt style of communication. He wasn't a polished corporate speaker, he spoke like a real person. He spoke like a man who had opinions, personality, and a sense of confidence that couldn't be scripted. The more WWE restricted his voice, the more he wanted to break out. That moment finally came when DiBiase left the company and Austin was allowed to talk for himself. And the wrestling world was about to hear something it had never heard before. When Steve Austin created the character, Stone Cold, he didn't base it on a superhero or larger-than-life cartoon. He based it on himself. His influences included gritty, ruthless personas from film, not because he wanted to imitate them, but because he connected with their unapologetic attitude. The key to Stone Cold's speaking style was authenticity. He wasn't acting, he wasn't pretending, he wasn't delivering lines written by someone else. He was speaking with the same tone, emotion, and sharp-edged confidence he had in real life. And that authenticity resonated immediately. When fans heard Stone Cold speak, they didn't feel like they were listening to a character. They felt like they were listening to a real person, someone who said the things they wished they could say themselves. His tone wasn't exaggerated, it was honest. His delivery wasn't rehearsed, it was instinctive. His words weren't filtered, they were fearless. This blend of truth and intensity made Stone Cold stand out instantly. He didn't rely on flowery language or elaborate storytelling. He communicated with simplicity, power, and conviction. And that style made him one of the most effective speakers wrestling had ever seen. Every great talker has a defining moment, and Stone Cold's arrived at the famous 1996 King of the Ring tournament. After winning the event, Austin delivered a promo that would change his career forever. Though we won't repeat copyrighted lines here, What Austin essentially did was deliver a message that shook the foundation of WWE programming. It wasn't just the words that made that moment iconic. It was the tone, the attitude, the confidence. Austin's voice carried the intensity of a man who wasn't asking for recognition, he was demanding it. Fans felt a shift instantly. A new star had arrived, not because of a scripted storyline, but because of the sheer force of one man speaking his truth. That promo was the launchpad. From that night onward, Stone Cold wasn't just a wrestler. He was a voice, a style that redefined wrestling promos. As Stone Cold's character grew, so did his mastery of the microphone. His speaking style had several trademark qualities. 1. Brevity with impact. Austin didn't need long speeches to get his point across. He used short, sharp sentences packed with meaning. Every line sounded like a statement, loud, bold, and memorable. 2. Timing and rhythm. Like a great comedian or storyteller, Austin understood rhythm. He knew when to pause, when to raise his voice, and when to punch a key phrase. His sense of timing made every promo feel alive. 3. Humor with edge. Stone Cold's comedic timing was impeccable. Whether he was mocking opponents or delivering quick-witted insults, his humor connected with audiences because it felt natural, not forced. 4. Emotion without filters. Fans loved him because they believed him. Every word carried genuine emotion, anger, frustration, excitement, rebellion. It didn't feel like he was performing, it felt like he was speaking from the heart. 5. Connection to the crowd. Austin made the audience feel like part of the fight. He talked to them, not at them. His ability to turn fans into allies was one of the reasons he became the face of a generation. Perhaps the greatest stage for Stone Cold's verbal brilliance came during his legendary battles with authority figures. These rivalries gave Austin endless opportunities to unleash his rebellious personality. Every confrontation felt unpredictable, explosive, and filled with unforgettable lines. Austin became the voice of the people. His promos weren't just entertainment, they were symbolic. Fans saw him standing up against control, rules, and power. His voice represented everyday frustrations, and his words brought audiences into the rebellion. This connection between character and message elevated Stone Cold to heights few wrestlers have ever reached. He became more than a performer. He became a cultural symbol. One of the lesser-known aspects of Stone Cold's skill is his ability to improvise. Many of his most famous moments were unscripted, spontaneous, and born from instinct. That improvisational talent made his promos unpredictable and exciting. Fans never knew what he would say, and often, neither did his opponents. Colleagues frequently praised Austin for his natural ability to deliver strong, believable promos without rehearsing. His brain worked at the speed of live performance. His instincts for humor, timing, and emotion were unmatched. This improvisational strength made him not just a top talker, but a performer who elevated every segment he was part of. Stone Cold's influence can be seen in countless performers who came after him. Wrestlers today still study his promos for lessons on delivery, attitude, and authenticity. His style proved that the most powerful personality in wrestling is the one closest to real life. He showed future stars that speaking from the heart is more effective than reading from a script. He demonstrated that confidence and conviction can turn a simple line into a historic moment. And he set a standard for microphone excellence that remains the benchmark today. Even after retiring from full-time competition, Stone Cold's voice continues to have an impact. Whether through interviews, shows, podcasts, or appearances, his speaking style still commands attention. His ability to tell stories, share wisdom, and entertain with pure authenticity is as strong as ever. This longevity proves that Austin's success was never about catchphrases or theatrics. It was about charisma, truth, and the courage to express himself without fear. His impact on wrestling communication is permanent and unmatched. Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't become one of wrestling's top talkers by design. He became one by evolution, by embracing who he truly was, by speaking with unfiltered honesty, and by connecting with fans in a way no script ever could. His voice wasn't just loud. It was real. His words weren't just memorable. They were meaningful. And his promos weren't just entertaining. They were revolutionary. Stone Cold's journey teaches the world that the greatest power in wrestling, and in life, is authenticity. That is how a once silent talent became a global icon. That is how a wrestler became a legend. And that is how Stone Cold Steve Austin became one of the most iconic talkers the sport has ever seen.